Welcome to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This is your podcast for all things hockey. On this podcast, we talk about past history to the modern day and what you can do to grow the sport. I am your host, Adam Rothstein. All right, let's get to the show. Welcome in, everyone. This is episode number 69, and boy, do I have a lot to talk about. So there was a controversial goal in overtime in North Carolina, Raleigh, and Martinook essentially high-sticked Scott Mayfield. And I've got to admit, when you have two officials looking at this, and it's so blatant, and the call should be made within, a snap of a second, of course that's going to anger you. And I think every series right now that has played at least two games should be, 1-1 because of the other three, and we'll get into that in a moment. But I think this one really just hurt the Isles' chances. Now, the good news is that the next two games are going to be home, all right? That's good. If they win those two games, we got a series. So I think if everything, the entire takeaway is that they did do things right. But I think the fact that the Isles gave up the two goals early certainly, wasn't helpful. And I did not get to see every bit of it. I was finishing up Boston and Florida, and I was disappointed in Boston losing that 6-3 game. But I've got to admit that I think the Isles, if they settle things down and they win at home, we have a series, and we're gonna go to 6 games at least. And I think this series can at least go to 6 games, the bare minimum, if not 7. Here we go. So Boston was a little interesting with Boston. I honestly had them winning this game, and I don't know if it was particularly Linus Ullmark or if it was that Florida just got lucky. If anything, I think it was just more of a flip of a coin last night. If you told me what the scores were going to be, and it's like, how does this happen? And it's like, I don't know. It's more of a flip of a coin with all these other games too. So here's the thing. Montour for Florida, Panthers, even East, in the first round, he had 2 goals. I think that was still very crucial. He stepped up. I was not expecting this, at all. And out of everyone that the Bruins could have faced, I think between the Panthers and the Islanders, I think the Panthers were always going to be the tougher opponent in the first round if they had to go up against them, regardless of what the standings were going to say, because, Florida was the one team that could hold their own against them. And it is more, and I do like Florida, believe me. But I think, I'm still kind of rooting for Boston on this, because I want this President's Trophy curse to just end already. So that's why, it's like I'm in a knot here, honestly. So I'm on NHL.com. Let's get into reading of this. So Brandon Montour scored twice, and the Florida Panthers even their Eastern Conference first round against the Boston Bruins with a 6-3 win in Game 2 at TD Garden on Wednesday. So Sam Bennett scored in his first game since March 20th. Matthew Tkachuk and Nick Cousins each had 2 assists, and Alex Lyon made 34 saves for Florida. Second wild card in the East. So Panthers are going to host Game 3 and 4, and I think when you're going into Sunrise and when you have the home ice advantage, I think that does wonders for you. You are the underdog, and I think, and now Boston is going to have to win one on the road. So there goes my prediction on that. With they should have to win at least a few road games to be the Stanley Cup champions, and it appears like they're going to have to at least win one. Do I think they can win twice in Sunrise? Yes, I think the Bruins will do that. Maybe not in both games 3 and 4, but if I had to pick a game between when they're going to win that, I'm actually going to say Game 3, because I think, the day of rest is still going to be good for them overall.